What's up, guys? It is another beautiful day here in central North Carolina. We are on the downside of the late April cold snap. Last night, I think the temperatures got down to 36 degrees, and right now it's in the mid 70s. So I just got done fertilizing the cabbage and the broccoli, and I cut the sprinklers on for a little while. As you can see, everything out here is doing great, even the lettuce. But yeah, we got some rain coming in tomorrow. It's supposed to be like a 90% chance. So it's been a long time since it rained here. You can see out there how dry everything is. But yeah, that little cool snap we had past couple of days, matter of fact, we had a few casualties. The first one is the Belarus tomatoes that we planted on Monday. If you remember that video, the last video I posted, this is what they look like now. Toast, burn them up. It wasn't so much me as it was the frost. Look at this guy here. Yeah, ain't no coming back from that. Anyway, like I said in the earlier video, that here in the South we have to deal with wild springtime temperature swings, and I mean, guys, I've seen it frost in May here, so it's hard to predict when you need to put things in the garden. It's hard to predict, what kind of weather you're going to have. You could have a 2-week forecast that it's in the 70s and 80s, and then bam, you get frost. Another victim that we got is Kentucky blue pole beans. You can see now, this one, it got it. The one right beside it, didn't touch it. I don't get it. This one, we're good. That one, it got it. And it's like that all the way down through there. And I mean, there's not enough damage for me to replant the whole row, by no means. But, we'll pull out the bad ones, because, I mean, I don't think they'll come back from that. They may. I mean, they may drop them leaves and put on new growth. I don't know. So we'll leave them alone and kind of see what happens. But yeah, everything else is doing good. I mean, I got a couple of potatoes that got bit on the ends, but I mean, nothing that's going to kill them. These are the Yukon Gold, and as you can see, I mean, it got some of this one. It didn't touch that one. I don't get it. I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna lick our wounds and we're gonna keep on going. I am thankful that our corn hadn't gotten up any taller than what it has. I mean, it's sprouted, and here, you can see down the road there that we got little sprigs, but this rain coming in tomorrow should make everything pop, because I think after that we're gonna get into our I'm gonna say in our groove, our 75-degree day groove. That's gonna make everything just come out. So, but to move further in the garden, I got a project I'm working on up in the barn. I'm gonna take you up here and kind of bring you along with me. I got the cabbage garden soaked, man. Look, got water running out of it. I left it on for about an hour and a half, which is probably a half hour too long, but got that fertilizer good and drenched. But yeah, everything out there is looking great. But let's head up here in the barn. I'll show you what I'm working on. Alright guys, so we're up here in the barn, and I'm actually working on a water leak that I have on my 1953 Farmall Super 8. Now, you've seen me do a video on my son's tractor. He is currently restoring. His is a 1951. This is a 53 model, and there's not much difference at all. I mean, cosmetically, they're just about the same tractor. But last time I was using it, I noticed that I was getting a water leak behind here. This discharge tube is what I'm calling it. The radiator sits here, and you've got the bottom tube that hooks to the bottom of the radiator. This is the top tube that hooks to the top of the radiator. Now this particular tractor does not have a water pump. It relies on pressure to move the water from inside the block back into the radiator. So you don't have I'm gonna say a lot of pressure due to pump pressure. It's just from temperature. And for the most part, I mean, we've never had any trouble with leaks or anything, hoses and nothing of that nature. It's just, I got noticing that it was low on water a lot. And last time I used it, I kept watching and I seen it leaking from behind this little pickup tube. So I decided to bring it in here and go ahead and fix it because I still got a lot of rows to run, and I could do them by hand, but it would take a long time to where I can do it with this thing in just minutes. So I went ahead and brought it in here and go ahead and reseal that and bolt everything down. I checked the head gasket. Head gasket looks fine. All the bolts were tight. There was nothing but RTV on it. My son's gasket kit came with this gasket, but for some reason when me and him rebuilt this tractor, we didn't have one then, or else we would have used it. So I went back with RTV. It worked before, it'll work again. So what I'm doing now is putting everything back together. So I'm getting ready to put the belts on it. There's only two. My tractor has an alternator. It was converted to 12 volts years ago. It was a 6-volt tractor originally. But yeah, there's a fan belt which runs off the crankshaft to the fan pulley, and then behind it is the alternator belt. Basically, you guessed it, turns alternator. Alright guys, so if you look in here, there's a bolt behind this, and there's a nut on the front. And this is the adjustment for this belt, up and down. That's all you got. And you have a 15/16 nut on the back of this, and there's a 13/16 bolt right here that you loosen up, and that allows it to basically move up and down to tighten it. So what we're going to put on first is the alternator belt, which that goes on the back. So we're going to get this rolled around here, and I would replace this belt, but I just put it on last year, so I know it's still in pretty good shape. So it goes on the back. Just going to slide the alternator up, put that on there, and then put this belt on, which goes to the crank for the fan belt. So, alright, so all of this is tight. So really all we're going to worry about tightening right now is the fan pulley and the crankshaft, this belt here. Use a little leverage here. Put on the bottom of the alternator pulley. And like I said, there is no other way of adjusting that pulley here. I'm going to lean on it a little bit. Bring it back here. Alright, so now the alternator, and this thing has always been somewhat slack. Alright guys, well, looks like that solved the issue. Don't see anything leaking out there anymore. I got an issue right here with this overflow spout. I got to resolder on there, but other than that, just like that, got it. I got to put the grill and the hood and all that stuff back on it, but yeah. I'm going to get out here and run it a little bit more, heat everything up, make sure the water level's good on it, but yeah. Glad to have that done. Now I can get out there and start putting my rows in. Get ready to plant these butter peas and purple hull peas and all this other good stuff. I'm glad to have that behind us, guys. We can actually get out there in the garden and get some work done now. We're just now getting started on the warm weather crops. Squash, we got squash ready to go out there. Cucumbers are ready to go out. Watermelons are ready to go out. And we're going to direct seed some squash seed this week, hopefully, and get 2 or 3 rows of that planted. I'm hoping after tonight we're done with the cold weather. I mean, I can see it getting into the 40s and 50s, but you know, the last 2 nights have got down into the mid 30s, so that's a little too close for comfort, especially with how much time we got invested in these tomatoes and these peppers. But yeah, as always, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.